Honorable members, Mr. Speaker.
Prayers. Almighty God, who in infinite wisdom and providential goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of humanity, we beseech you to look upon with abundant favor these your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important trusts in this land. Let your blessing descend upon them here assembled, and grant that they may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under their deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interests you have committed to their charge. Amen.
Amen. Item number 2, communication from the chair.
Colleagues, I welcome you to today's sitting. I've read in the media just a short while ago about a bus at Sevitori along Fort Portal Chenjojo Road. According to media reports, about 20 people have died. I urge the Minister of Works and Transport to investigate the cause of the accident and also establish measures to reduce road carnage, because every day we are receiving such cases. So, honorable members, I request that we stand up in honor of those who have perished in this accident.
May their souls rest in eternal peace.
House, we spend a lot of time handling matters of urgent or national importance. It has more or less become a substantive item, and yet it's not even provided for anywhere in our rules of procedure. When you look at our rules and interpret them duly. But I also want to draw your attention to Rule 25, or Sub-Rule 2M, which provides for brief statements by members, and that's where we usually put matters of national importance. It has looked like it's a substantive item on our agenda. If you don't allow it, it's as if you are not allowing members to speak and all that, but we would want to have an orderly house. Because when you come and you spend around 2 hours of prime time, where the whole country is waiting to look at very important issues, and we are just on all those issues rotating. So I'll be taking only 5 matters per day when I'm chairing, and each matter will be taking only 2 minutes to be presented, and a response of not more than 2 minutes. They are not matters where you expect structured answers. So that then we go on serious business, which we have on the agenda. So I feel I should be telling you that. And the first 5 members to come are the ones I'll be addressing or allowing. So you can't come here and you start sending me cheats the way they've been coming. I have a matter, and we end up in a game that doesn't make us look in and smart. But also, Today, I have guided most of you to refer to other rules. When you look at our rules, I think that's chapter 9 or chapter 11, but rules 41, 45. When you look at those rules, you have all avenues of presenting your issues. Most of the issues you're bringing are issues where you need structured answers. Now, you took time to do research and you structure your question, but you get an answer that does not satisfy you. So I request colleagues, if there are not issues which are extremely urgent, we always utilize other rules so that you can come for questions for oral answer. You have Prime Minister's question time, and we ensure that indeed we give those other items space on the order paper. So I request you really to ensure that we address this matter and we give it the urgency it needs. Secondly, I have also seen colleagues who abuse point of procedure to raise in substantive issues of questions that would even be coming as petitions, questions that would be coming to the Prime Minister. Someone stands up under procedure and finds a way, of passing via the kitchen to bypass the rules, present matters. I will not be tolerating it. I want to go on record, because if you insist, I'll be invoking Rule 78, Sub Rule 4, which requires that for any procedural matter you're raising, you should refer to a rule where the House has gone astray. I don't want to go that extreme, because the moment you go that extreme, you will have suffocated many. I would want us to have the freedom. But I'm trying to emphasize that we shouldn't abuse the goodwill of the presiding officers. And I was happy last week, this came from you colleagues, that indeed we need to have an orderly house, we have orderly business, we come here, we do business, and we ensure that we do finish that business. So I proceedings within the house, not issues that are not on the agenda of that day or going on. Today, the Uganda Parliamentary Forum on Malaria commemorated the World Malaria Day. This should have happened on 24th April, but due to unavoidable circumstances, it was postponed. We continue to lose around 10 children to malaria per day, not to mention the suffering pregnant mothers. Uganda is still ranked 7th among countries affected by malaria in the whole world. As a country, we have committed to eradicate malaria by 2030. On the basis of this commitment, the Minister of Health measures being taken by government to eradicate malaria and ensure that this target is met come 2030. And we shall have a comprehensive debate on that statement, because colleagues, because I'm the patron and I'm going to be following up to ensure that indeed most of the commitments the government has made on fighting and eradicating malaria are met. With those very many words, let me allow matters of national importance.
Short response to your communication, right on speaker. Short response to your communication under Rule 25.
Honorable Nambushe.
Right, Honorable Speaker, let me once again congratulate you upon ascendance to that chair. As a Speaker, under Rule 49, matters of urgent public importance, the controversial agreement or deal that was signed to give exclusive powers to Uganda Vinci Coffee Company to export and deal in all matters coffee is a very bad law, and it has triggered lots of backlash from the populace, especially where I hail from. in the Bugis sub-region, where coffee is more than gold. The Speaker, yesterday, this was a matter that was referred to the relevant committee of trade, and the chair was unequivocally clear here that the report is ready. I've perused through the order paper. That particular report is conspicuously missing. And as a matter of procedure, Mr. Speaker, sir, I would implore your chair, seeking your indulgence, to amend the order paper and have this rather dicey, risk and unpredictable matter of urgent public importance included. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Nambeshe. The order paper belongs to the presiding officer. So whenever an item is not on the order paper, you can't use the language of conspicuously, as if there was connivance. That wouldn't be, that's not honorable. Eh? Yes, that's not honorable of referring to an item missing. I know indeed the report is complete, but the presiding officer always has to read through the report, comprehend it, so that you're able to moderate the matter once it's on the floor. Otherwise, if you just go to report, you just say start, then you also start reading from here. So as presiding officers, we have it, we are reading through, and we honorable. Yeah. Honorable Sariro, I had allowed Honorable Sariro.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I rise to respond briefly to your guidance with regard to matters of national importance and other related matters. At the beginning of this parliament, when it was being chaired by the Right Honorable Jacob Olanya, may his soul rest in peace, we had issues on how you, the presiding officers, manage business. And I did advise that one of the ways of addressing these concerns is through amendment of these rules. At that time, I had a disagreement with him on the interpretation of these rules. I even went to his office and we had a discussion. I foresee the same thing emerge. If we want harmony and consistency, I would request that the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker harmonize in the manner in which the House is presided over. Take an example of the issue raised, matters of national importance. I know that, for example, in the 10th Parliament, the Speaker and Deputy Speaker had different approaches. One was liberal on admitting matters of national importance, even on the floor, the other was not. On matters of procedure, one would be liberal to entertain anything, and another was very strict. Now, if you create that situation, it becomes a very big problem to the MPs. In fact, what happens in practice is that an MP will wait on who is in the chair to have their way. So to avoid this situation, I want to humbly appeal that you, the presiding officers, sit and harmonize. Now begin planning who is chairing. It is so and so. Let me go and have this matter. It sets a very bad precedent. It happened in the 10th Parliament. I don't think it should happen in the 11th Parliament. If we are agreeing on matters of national importance, let it be known that there are 5, regardless of who is chairing. If it is matters of procedure, let it be known. Is it procedure within or outside? And it should be uniform. Otherwise, if you create different standards, you are going to create a very big problem. And then the people would now begin judging you. So it becomes a very big problem. I have listened, and I think this is a matter that, fortunately, the two of you are moving on very well. And I want to thank you. You are creating a very good team the speaker and the deputy speaker. You are creating a very good team. I am very sure this is a matter you can harmonize, so that the communication you make is a collective communication that reflects both your position and the position of the speaker. And that's how we should be guided. We will know there are 5 matters of national importance. That is it. But even beyond the practice, we could even consider having the rules clarified, so that whoever wants to know how things are done can only seek refuge in our rules of procedure. I thank you, Right Honourable Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Honourable Asman. That's very important what you've raised. But I want to assure you that this is something we've discussed as presiding officers. Because you see, you come here to debate an agenda, isn't it? We have an order paper, you come looking at an order paper. And for 3 hours, you're handling items which are not on the order paper. Okay? Sometimes you have visitors who have come to witness the debate. For 3 hours, you're discussing matters which are not on the order paper. So, but like you've proposed, we are going to sit so that we see whether we need to look into our rules and we be clear in the rules. But also when we talk of 5 items or 5 matters, it's not that it's engraved in stone. But what I'm meaning is, if someone, for example, in my office and I look at it as a very urgent matter, I would be flexible enough. But the problem is some people abusing our flexibility. That's the biggest concern. So as we work on our side as presiding officers, I request you colleagues also to work on your side. Honorable Solomon, and then we go to matters of national importance.
Thank you. Right Honourable Speaker, I want to thank you for your communication, and I rise particularly on the accident that happened this morning. Right Honourable Speaker, far back in this country and in this same parliament, there was a clear directive of all public service vehicles to have speed governors. Right Honourable Speaker, this moved on for a long time, As we speak today, the Minister of Works, Transport and Communication has not enforced speed governors in most of the public transport. Right Honourable Speaker, I am one of the common users of buses in this country. I use buses a lot, and the speed that the driver uses is determined by he or himself. And if this is not enforced, Right Honourable Speaker, we are going to continue experiencing such accidents. Much as some accidents may be unavoidable, but the Minister of Works should come out to deliberately regulate, put the speed governors and monitor, especially the public transport that carry more than 10, 15, 100 people. Right Honourable Speaker, the procedural matter.
Honourable Solomon, I would guide that you didn't raise on a procedure matter. You are responding to my communication. Those are 2 different things. So from the response, now you're going to procedure. It really can't work. But I would guide that you write a question, okay, for the Prime Minister, so that we get a structured response to that issue. That's a very important issue you're raising. For us to just dismiss it that way, write a question to the Prime Minister. We ensure next Thursday, Prime Minister gives us the structured answer. Importance, Honorable Chuan Abdullah. Yeah.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, on several occasions, issues of human rights violations by CMI have been coming on the floor of Parliament and have consistently been referred to committees of Parliament. Of recent, even the president came out, distancing himself from human rights violations, and he directed CMI and ISO to stop harassing, abducting, kidnapping, and detaining citizens. Right, Honorable Speaker, as we speak now, CMI is still carrying out the operations of abducting and torturing, arresting citizens in this country. The case in point is Isma Semuto, who was arrested from Karaji in broad daylight using a drone. And up to now, he is detained. He was arrested last Wednesday. Up to now, at Chireka on the orders of General Birungi and his agents he uses. I call my prayer, right, Honorable Speaker, is to prevail over the Minister of Security, to prevail over the agents of CMI to stop the atrocities being committed to the citizens. I humbly pray.
Right, Honorable Prime Minister.
Right, Honorable Speaker. Sorry for our brother who is in detention right now, Isma Semuto. But I'm going to get in touch with the Minister of Security so that he can come here and explain why the abductions are still going on, because he said they are still going on, which means it has been for some time. So he has to come here and explain to Parliament why it is still being done like that. Thank you.
Let the minister get in touch with the honorable member for more details, and you report back to the House on Tuesday. Honorable Kara Kevin Ojinga.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I also want to join my colleagues in congratulating you upon achieving that chair, because I've not done that before. Honorable colleagues, I rise on the matters of national importance. It was last week on Thursday, 28th. We had heavy downpour in my district. It rained for about 5 hours. You know that Palisa is a lowland district. The whole district was flooded, and the floods washed away particularly Kaboloi Bridge, Ometai, and Otut Bridge, whereby this Kaboloi Bridge links to Ngora district via Aleles Bridge. It's not the first time that I'm raising this issue on the floor of Parliament. It was last year again, around October. I raised the same issue because normally we have heavy rains in March, April, and October, and November. But since then, the ministry just sent technocrats to assess the situation. After assessing the situation, that was it. It has never been worked on. This particular bridge was built in 1960, even before I was born.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member. Right, Honorable Speaker, just the way the Honorable has mentioned, she has mentioned the bridges, but the information I want to give her, or the whole House here, is that even the roads are totally swept off. You see the road of Obwanai, to Apopong is totally impassable. Then you come to the road, Amotod, Kaukura, is totally impassable. Then you come to the road of Agule, which connects to Akisim, you cannot pass, totally closed. Then you come to people's houses in Agule Town Council. There's a house that is washed completely, 3 houses down. As we talk right now, children are in the hospital and other people. So that's why I wanted to just add the information that apart from the bridges, even the roads are done. And I request, honorable member, I have the details here plus all the photos. You lay it on the table, honorable, lay it on the table. For the record, because we have talked for a long time, we have not been reacted. Thank you.
No, I've just allowed you because you're from the same area, and Honorable Polycarp had also brought that same matter to raise it. Otherwise, on matters of national importance, I don't allow information.
Thank you, Right Honorable. My prayers, Right Honorable. We have written to the ministry several times.
No, Honorable, make your prayers. That one you're repeating yourself now. Just make your prayers.
What I was coming to is that we've written several times, but no response. So my prayers are that how should we always request the ministry to come in since the matters are urgent and there are always no responses. My prayers are that let the Ministry of Works come to our rescue. Right Honorable, we are now going to open schools. Where are our children going to pass when they are going to school? Where are the pregnant women going to pass when they are going to access the district hospital? Right Honorable. My question is, for a long time, Paris has been ignored in every aspect of development in this country. Where does Paris belong, Right Honorable? I thank you.
So, why ignore Parisa?
Right Honorable.
You know,
she did
laying
not
on
lay-
table, all right, Honorable, laying on table is her choice.
Yes.
In fact, wait, Honorable colleague, you only need to lay on table a document you have verified. Not you just don't receive a document because a colleague has said there is a document lay and you read. No, you need to verify. What if it's your censure? Someone is saying you should leave this house. It goes on record. So verify. I'll give you time in case you want to lay.
Yeah, Right Honorable. Sorry for what is happening in Palisa. She has talked of the bridges, but she's saying the bridges are very old, as if they were not washed away just of recent. So it is work that has taken time without being attended to. And even now the roads that the Honorable Member is giving information about those roads that have been washed away. I'm going to inform to call Minister of Works and Minister for Disaster to come and work together to see that the roads and the bridges are put back, because it is an old bridge. It was not washed away of recent, which means people have been using that bridge, but it was washed away of recent.
No, Honorable, Right Honorable, please link up with the 2 members, okay? Engage with them, send a team visit to the ground, verify, and come up with solutions. Not everything will be put again here to respond to report back to the House. Do a written response to her issues and copy the presiding officers. If a member doesn't feel satisfied, she will come back on the floor, and then you'll be required to make a statement on the floor. Okay? Honorable Mawanda Michael. Honorable Seku. Honorable Seku, okay? I know he's a Polish legislator when he insists.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. Whereas it is true that the bridges we're talking about are old. Now, the current position is that the rains have washed away the connections. The bridge is still hanging, but you cannot pass through it. So the place is cut off because you cannot drive through. Border borders only are able to put some logs to reach that point. The bridge is isolated, but the other parts are all cut off. We have the pictures which the engineers have given to us,
So,
and the minister.
okay, so pass them
Thank
on to the Right Honorable. And please, Right Honorable, on Tuesday, I'm going to give you space in my office. We meet with MPs from Parisa, and we see which action you would have taken by then. If a member is not satisfied, that's when you should come back. Instead of reporting here, and we clog our order paper, with very many issues. Some of the issues should be finished from behind, as long as the colleague is satisfied that we've done the job. Honorable Mawanda Michael.
Thank you, Right Honourable Speaker. Right Honourable Speaker, I raised on a matter of national importance in respect to the enforcement of the digital stamps by URA. Yes, Right Honourable Speaker, I said I'm raising on a matter of national importance in respect to the implementation of the digital stamp by URA. Right Honourable Speaker, Parliament in 2017 amended the Tax Procedures Code Act of 2014 to insert in a clause, a section of introduction of digital stamps. Earlier this year, Right Honourable Speaker, the Honourable Minister, through the regulation, expanded the list of goods and services that are supposed to be affixed on digital stamps. The deadline was supposed to be 30th April. Right Honourable Speaker, these stamps are put on locally and manufactured goods. The expansion was to allow on the list other goods like soft drinks. Soft drinks undergo a process of certification from UNBS. URA is saying that to be able to access digital stamps, you must be certified by UNBS. UNBS is saying it does not have the capacity to certify all the products that are before it. They still have a backlog of 2018. People have invested in the beverages. They can now not take their products onto the market because they don't have stamps. Right Honourable Speaker, my prayer is, why is the Ministry of Finance failed to harmonize with the Minister of Trade, on the implementation of the application of digital stamps? From 1st May up to date, people are not able to sell their products. So what should they do, Right Honourable Speaker?
Honorable Bahati, your traders are suffering. This is a very, important issue, especially with the effects of COVID. Again, we give another problem to the traders and manufacturers.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. First, the introduction of the digital stamps has seen our revenue collection increase. So it's a positive thing that this Parliament did when you passed the law. We did expand the list after we realized that some of the companies were not in the bracket that we are correcting then. There are those challenges that are now coming, and we are attending to them. I will have a meeting with the Minister of Finance, and then Honorable Speaker will have a meeting with Honorable Mawanda, inform him after the meeting, and then we can brief this House next week on the progress that we are making. But we are looking at the ways of resolving the issue.
Honorable, this is not a Honorable Mawanda issue. It's a national issue. It's beyond, the constituents. So I would, the chairperson Committee on Trade the chairperson and the vice, the chairperson, committee on finance, and the vice, and the shadow ministers for finance and the trade. You should meet them as a team, and then you report back to the House on Tuesday. Okay? On the way forward. That's feasible?
It's possible. We can have a meeting on Friday, then we report back on Tuesday.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Azatom.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker and my dear colleagues. I rise on a matter of national importance, and the issue is about insecurity around the area bordering South Sudan by armed thugs suspected to be from South Sudan, covering the areas from Koboko, Yumbe, Moyo district in the sub-counties of Lefori, Moyo sub-county, Meto sub-county, as well as Dufele sub-county. Mr. Speaker, on 6th of January 2022, 3 farmers and 3 tractor operators were abducted by armed men along the South Sudan border and detained inside Sudan. Again, from 2nd of March up to date, armed men are carrying out logging using South Sudanese refugees as laborers on the Ugandan side of the border. And they have also been carrying out cattle raids. Mr. Speaker, mobilization for agricultural development and activities under Operation Wealth Creation have all been disrupted in Iguere North, Lefori sub-county by displacing, exploiting, oppressing, suppressing the local farmers, especially in areas like Abaya, Bari, Bamure, Harapi, and Wano. They claim that the land covering around 200 square hectares and about belong to South Sudan, and also they have entered deep inside Uganda, about 8 kilometers inside Uganda. Mr. Speaker, I would like to draw your attention to the fact that on 15th of February 2012, that was about 10 years ago, an interministerial committee sat so that they can fast track the demarcation of the border. But up to now, 10 years down the road, that one has never happened. My prayers, Mr. Speaker, may the government expedite the border demarcation in order to make programs under Operation Wealth Creation and agricultural activities to flourish. Number 2, patrols by police and the army along the border should be stepped up. There should be sensitization, mobilization, and education of the people along the border in order to embrace peace. Fourthly, NFA and environmental police should help in stopping illegal tree cutting and logging at the border. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, can we involve international organizations like IGAD, like European Union, like African Union, East African Community, so they can come in order to help in demarcating the border so that we can have peace along the border? Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Government.
Right Honorable Speaker, this is an issue which needs bilateral engagements. So, Ministry of course, Security, Ministry of Lands, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, like I said, bilateral engagements, all these people are involved. So we have to call upon these people so that they see how this issue can be settled. Secondly, deployment has been done in some of the parts which are having a lot of insecurity, and I expect those areas also to have some deployment. Maybe it needs also to be strengthened. So it is an issue that we are going to sit on as government, and we see how to be handled. Thank you.
Right Honorable, since you have Honorable Cecile got information too, because there's no one on the floor. So Since you have said this is a marital sector issue, indeed, let's give you 2 weeks. You give us response, but in the meantime, look at the urgent components. And one way of doing it is quickly linking up with the members from the affected areas. The moment you link up, they even give you information beyond what they've presented here. And then you'll be able to address the immediate challenges. Honorable colleagues, in the public gallery this afternoon, we have Mr. Ariga Cliff Asher and Mr. Mlamuz Dan from the Federation of Uganda Nurses and Midwives. They have come to observe proceedings of the House. Please join me in welcoming them. You can stand up. Thank you. Let me finish these matters. Honorable Mukasa Logias.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I accept my congratulatory message, where majority of honorable members elevated you to that very specific position. I rise on a matter of national importance in regards to the inadequate sanitation services in Kampala City, more particularly toilet services to urban slum dwellers. Right Honorable Speaker, research surveys have consistently shown that over 70% of urban dwellers in Uganda lack private sanitation facilities in their homes and rely on an informal network of shared toilets, if they are lucky to have them within communities where they live. The predominancy of these shared toilets in Uganda is a result of unplanned urbanization, lack of space, unfavorable features of housing, and socio-economic characteristics of the population. Right Honorable Speaker, KCCA, under the KCCA Act, is obliged to, among other things, provide public lavatories and urinals, as well as sanitary services for the removal and disposal of all kinds of refuse and effluent. Sadly, a big percentage of Kampala's fecal sludge remains uncorrected. So the unpicked human waste ends up in either side drainage or indiscriminately dumped in the open. So this manifests in slum communities where residents resort to defecation in polythene bags, which they call the flying toilets. Right Honorable Speaker, Kampala City currently has only 16 toilets. I repeat, Kampala City currently has only 16 public toilets, serving a population of about 4.5 million people during the daytime. This demonstrates the magnitude of health crisis I'm referring to. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, the consequences of poor sanitation are well known and disastrous to the population. There is water pollution, typhoid, cholera, stunting in children, and lowering immunity of diseases like malaria, tuberculosis, and others.
Honorable prayers?
Yes, my prayers, Right Honorable Speaker.
Otherwise, it has become a petition.
Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker, I want the Minister in charge of Kampala City to present to this August House a comprehensive plan to fast-track construction of more public toilets in parks, markets, and within vulnerable communities, including those living in slum areas of Kabao Parish, Ndeba Parish, and Natete Parish. I also want KCCA to undertake an audit into services of several NGOs that claim to be providing sanitation services to residents in slum areas, yet in reality, they do not and are using the situation to fleece unsuspecting donors for this service. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, and I beg to submit.
Honorable Minister, they need a comprehensive response. So come back in 2 weeks' time with a comprehensive response. I link up with the honorable member to get the statement in full. Honorable Enos.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to congratulate you for having been elevated to the position of Deputy Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I raise on the matter of national importance relating to coffee. Honorable Speaker, we are in a season for planting coffee. Most of the farmers have run to Coffee Development Authority to seek support in terms of seedlings, and Uganda Coffee Development Authority says they have no budget for the seedlings. You are aware that we have a coffee policy that was passed in 2017, and part of the objective was to support farmers in terms of productivity and increase of production. But unfortunately, UCDA says they don't have funds because Ministry of Finance has not provided a budget for that. A minute, I'm going to give you that. Mr. Speaker, based on that, I went to the budget committee and I followed the report from the Committee of Agriculture and Animal Industry relating to the budget framework paper. They had made a recommendation to Ministry of Finance to provide 19 billion in this budget to provide for the seedlings.
In which budget, Honor?
The coming budget. The process, the budget we're running right now, okay. Budget process we're into now. Ministry of Finance did not provide a provision for the 19 billion. Basically, they are claiming that they're taking the money to the PDM. But Mr. Speaker,
that's for next financial year.
That's for next financial year. But even now, there's no money for the seedlings.
Because you see, we have to avoid being in conflict with Rule 80 and special. We haven't passed the budget for next financial year. The budget is with us here. So
I'm coming to the conclusion. That was in my prayers, Mr. Speaker.
Yeah.
Okay, let me first give my colleagues to give me some information, then I can conclude.
Colleagues, on matters of national importance, there is no information. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Enos.
So he's going to conclude for you, Honorable.
For giving way. I congratulate you, sir, for assuming the chair. Right Honorable Speaker, I happen to be a member of the Forum for Sustainable Development Goals, and we have been getting coffee seedlings and other tree seedlings. But this morning, I called the ED because I had mobilized 1,223 farmers in 3 sub-counties that were willing to consume 300,000 coffee seedlings. And the ED said there is no money. Unfortunately, the nursery bed operators have the seedlings ready. So the seedlings are there, but CDA doesn't have money to procure, and the farmers are equally also ready, waiting to get seedlings, because there has been a practice that in every season we provide seedlings as members of parliament. So with your indulgence, honorable colleague, please proceed. Thank you.
With your support, Mr. Speaker, our prayer is that
I think you've seen a coup. You've witnessed a coup, Honorable.
With your support, Mr. Speaker, we are seeking for your support to compel the budget committee to make sure they do not scrap the budget to UCDA relating to coffee seedlings. With your support again, we pray that you compel Ministry of Finance to release some money, at least to cater for the coffee seedlings for this coming season, because the season is ending in a month or so, and people are crying. They invested a lot in clearing their lands. Seedlings. I beg that you support us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Enos. Right Honorable Prime Minister, these coffee seedlings and even tree, eucalyptus and all that, which you are giving us, have been, it's one of the ways the MPs are able to go to the communities and engage and work with the communities. You know, it's one of the things we had. And you're also an MP. Even on the front bench, you're an MP, even a speaker, you're an MP. Okay? So this is very, very, very important for us. Can we have our seedlings? We need seedlings. On that one, we need seedlings. Right, Honorable.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I really don't know why the executive director said that there is no money to give the seedlings. The member of parliament has said it here that the farmers, they have the seedlings ready to be given out.
Those are nursery bed operators. Yes.
In their nursery beds. I'm also a farmer who has been giving out those seedlings to people who want to plant. When you apply for the seedlings, you give seedlings to CDO without money. Then money is claimed after. Why is it that now they are saying that there is no money? Because the farmers don't request for money immediately. They first take the seeds.
Executive Director of UCDA can only commit government, okay, against a budget line. He cannot just say, nursery bed operators, you have what? No, he needs to be given money by Minister of Finance, allowed to spend.
What I was going to request, what I was going to request, Right Honorable, is that as we request for money, because Finance did not give money to UCDA, to Coffee Development Authority, I was going to request that let the members be given coffee as we commit Minister of Finance.
Tomorrow at 2, come back to this house and tell us what you've done on this matter. Okay, go meet the Minister of Finance tomorrow at 2. You come, you tell us what you've done on this matter so that we can have coffee seedlings. Okay? Honorable colleagues, we still have COVID in our midst. I can see some of you do not have masks. But what I know also is most of you have them in your pockets. So for those with masks in your pockets, please put them on. For those ones who don't have, kindly get a way of securing one. Okay? We still have COVID. Some colleagues can fundraise for you some masks. We have some who keep several. Honorable Bahat is fundraising for one of you. So Honorable Tebandeke, you can take opportunity of Honorable Bahat's offer. So colleagues, ensure, please, if you don't have a mask, please get out of this house. Yes. No, you don't respond to me. If you don't have a mask, get out of the house. If we don't have, order.
Right, Honorable Speaker, our rules are very clear. Your ruling is final and uncontestable in a sitting of the House. You can only contest it in another sitting if you feel so. Therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, feel honorable to get masks or depart.
Thank you. Thank you. Please, the issue of masks, colleagues, you know we have AC here. Honorable Wanda Richard, you can, Honorable Bahat can help you. Please take advantage, Honorable Bahat can help you, but we need each one of us should mask up. Okay, thank you. Thank you, colleagues. Honorable Sebamara.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I would love to take this opportunity to thank you, to congratulate you for having become a Deputy Speaker and risen to those heights in such a short time, at such a simple age. I congratulate you. Right Honorable Speaker, I would want to draw your attention to the matter of this matter of national importance. Minister of Finance suppressed the budget for all MDAs and other, entities. However, I'd want to take interest in the suppression of interest.
Repeat that. Minister of Finance did what?
There was a suppression of the budget of IPFs for all MDAs across board.
They suppressed a certain threshold.
Yes.
A certain threshold.
Yes.
Otherwise, when you say suppression, it's as if none has a budget.
Yes, I'd love to take interest in the suppression of the budget of the road sector across the nation. As the budgets were being suppressed, most of the contractors have failed to be paid by the MDAs. Also, the MDAs themselves have a lot of liquidated damages. If you went today, even the suppliers to the contractors are also facing a hard time. Today, I was reading through particular reports. I would want to single out one for Uganda National Road Authority, where it is facing 334 million in liquidated damages per day. Colleagues per day, 334 million. This means that we are spending more or less a district budget per day on interest. On interest. By the end of this financial year, they will be in a deficit of 1 trillion. That means that we shall not be able to make or to maintain any roads next financial year in our districts. And you know, colleagues, roads is one of the things that brings us back to Parliament. I'd want to implore, my prayer is, Minister of Finance should come up with an immediate intervention to some of these MDAs. Maybe some little money, a supplementary also, to help us clear at least Uganda National Road Authority and some particular districts that have very big interest, an interest of around almost $500 million per day is actually very high. I would want Minister of Finance, through your indulgence, Speaker, I would love that Minister of Finance acts faster and gives us a response.
Thank you, Honorable. This is a very serious issue, colleagues. We are losing a lot of money government entered into. They had projected, I remember most of them like under National Committee of National Economy when they are borrowing, most of on having a confirmation of availability of counterpart funding. But then after signing and the contract is under execution, zero. You check zero. Some of the projects which are even exiting, zero. It's not only UNRWA. It also, if you check projects underwater, a lot of money being spent on interest. And some of these contractors are just comfortable because I have borrowed this money at a much lower rate compared to the interest and penalties I'm charging UNRWA. So on top of the response from the Minister of Finance, I want to implore the Committee on Physical Infrastructure to study that matter of the interest we pay to contractors for failure by government pay and report back to this House within 2 weeks. Study the matter comprehensively and report back, we get a solution. But not only that, also there is the issue of deemed energy. Deemed energy, where we are paying hundreds of billions every month, every year, every financial year. And yet we cannot even have money for free connection. Now, we are paying for power we are not consuming. But we have people who are saying, connect us, we start consuming. So that money which you would be paying for unconsumed power, you would be using it to connect our people under the free connections policy. So the Committee on Natural Resources also should do the same for deemed energy, so that those two, we come back here with debate as a House and we give proposals to government on how they can be addressed. We come to an amicable conclusion and we see how best funds can be gotten to address those challenges. So, but for Minister of Finance, please respond on this matter on Tuesday next week. Next item. Honorable Sarah, you had an issue?
Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker, the Right Honorable Deputy Prime Minister had indicated that the Minister of Internal Affairs would come here to explain on the issues of torture. On the 21st of April, I did raise an issue regarding a lady called Marinos Alexandria, who was allegedly abducted on Easter Monday, and the act repeated again. She was raped, tortured, and this even appeared on TVs. Most of you could have seen this. And the speaker directed that this lady, the Minister of Internal Affairs, comes to this house and makes a statement, gives us a report on exactly what transpired. That statement should have come the following week on 26th. Today is 4th May. We have not had a report. Right Honorable Speaker, wouldn't it be right that when the minister is coming here, he also reports on this matter? Because when women are tortured, it seems nobody cares. When women are raped, it seems it's business as usual. But the torture is only on arrested, tortured, raped, and most of you could have seen this lady's body on social media. It's very unfortunate. Right Honorable Speaker, we have an anti-torture act which is not being implemented. Who are these people torturing Ugandans? We also want to know what action is the government taking against these people who torture Ugandans. They should not go scot-free. We shall not end torture unless we take action against those who are torturing Ugandans. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Sarah. Today morning, I received a call from the Minister of State for Internal Affairs, General David Mozi, who told me he was on duty in northern Uganda, and he requested that tomorrow he will be here to respond to these issues. So, clerk, put them on order paper. Tomorrow, the Minister of Internal Affairs should come and respond to that issue, and the issue of national IDs, increment of replacement of national IDs, as raised by Honorable Tamaguzi, also should be on order paper. Next item.
Item number 4, presentation of petition on salary enhancements.
Procedure.
Item number 3, bills first reading.
Yes, clerk, a procedure. Is a procedure matter.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Are we proceeding well while the front bench, all ministers are not here and all the questions are supposed to be answered by them? Thank you.
Right Honorable Prime Minister, we need your ministers. The MP is asking, because we've discussed this matter. And each ministry has a Minister of State. Some of them, they are as many as 6, So, but we don't have ministers. So, Right Honorable Prime Minister, where did you send the ministers? Now members have even hijacked their seats. I don't know what they will do. And I want my member to be comfortably seated.
Right Honorable will do better, but Minister for Kampala is here, ready to handle the next business.
Order.
Right, Honorable Speaker, we have about 80 ministers, 82 ministers. The honorable member is inquiring and asking government where the ministers are. And the person representing the government rising up, telling us that the minister for Kampala is here, as if we are asking only for the minister of Kampala. We need all the ministers, all the front bench to be around. Is the honorable member in order to try to cover the ministers who are absconding their duties intentionally? Is he in order?
Thank you, Honorable. Right Honorable Prime Minister, you're not in order. Because at least I'm privy to the information that ministries make lotas, which minister should be attending which day in Parliament. And we are going to ask for that lota because I know it is yours, but business here even putting aside this business of saying, no, the ministers for items are here. No, ministers are members of parliament, and members of parliament are supposed to be in the house. Okay? So at least if we could have one minister. How come Bahati is always here every day? How come Right Honorable Rukia Nakadama is here every day? Yeah? So it's because they take parliament serious. So I implore other colleagues also to take parliament serious. Otherwise, if you only come when we are processing your business, that's how you even come and you fail to get allies here. You find colleagues, that's why sometimes you find colleagues are asking, who is that member? Isn't that a stranger when you're a minister? Okay? So, Right Honorable Prime Minister, please, I implore you to call your colleagues to come and attend parliamentary business. Yeah. So next item. They had already read Minister for Kampala, this first reading.
All right, Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the bill entitled Kampala Capital City Amendment Bill 2021 to be read for the first time. I beg to lay.
The bill is referred to the Committee on Presidential Affairs.
The Kampala Capital City Amendment Bill 2021.
I hope Honorable Minister, you have the certificate of financial implication.
The certificate of financial implication is also.
Please, you've laid them together all. Okay. Next item.
Petition on salary
Honorable Minister,
enhancements.
you've gone back with our bill, it seems. Huh? Is that our copy? Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Honorable Lematia Ruth, Maracha East County.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker. I want to join the rest to say congratulations to you publicly for attaining this position.
I request you come closer to the microphone so that you be audible enough. You can put it closer to yourself.
I raise to under Rule 30 of the Rules of Procedure the humble petition of nurses and medical interns presented by me, Lematia Ruth Moli Ondoru, MP Maracha East, and one of the most senior nurses in this country. And states that your humble petitioners are the leaders of the several professional nursing bodies united under their professional nursing organization, the Federation of Uganda Nurses and Midwives, in short, FUNMO. Two, the petitioners are aggravated by the continued non-implementation of the terms of the 2018 collective medical practitioners. Three, the nursing profession in Uganda has over the decades evolved with nurses acquiring super specialized skills to handle complicated 20th century high-tech medical challenges and equipment in various specializations. Four, currently the pool created by the nursing resources contributes over 70% of staffing levels of Uganda health system, which is highly multidisciplinary. Right Honorable Speaker, the majority of health workers in this country are the nurses. Although we have stated here 70, but they are more than 75% of health workers. 5, with the training and person, nurses have over the years demonstrated tremendous commitment to serve the country's healthcare system, from health center to regional and the national referral hospital, as demonstrated during the challenging pandemic. 6, despite the commitment and the dedication, working for long hours alongside doctors in the same risky environment, nurses continue to be heavily disgruntled and demotivated due to the continued underpayment and non-recognition as important players in the medical care services delivery. Nurses now attain degrees. Starting from 1992, the first nursing schools in university was introduced. We now have a large number of nurses with the university degrees. Some have even raised up to the doctorate, but they are not recognized. 7, the failure of ministries of health and public service to implement the schemes of service for the nursing and midwifery cadre 2018 regarding recruitment and promotion has further resulted into continued improper recruitment, promotion, and failed retention of well-trained nurses and midwives. We are losing a lot of these highly trained nurses to other countries because the country has. In a bid to address the remuneration challenges faced by nurses and medical interns, government through a collective bargaining agreement reached consensus with different public service labor unions whose terms are supposed to be implemented in fiscal year 2022-2023. Now, therefore, be it resolved by Parliament as follows. Government fulfills its commitment under the collective bargaining agreement to enhance nurses' salaries, nurses and midwives' salaries in fiscal year 2022 and 2023. I'm sorry, this is coming after the budget. Primary arrangement is almost over, but through you, Right Honorable Speaker, I wish you could take this into consideration. 2, 3, government through ministries of public service and health harmonizes the salary discrepancies between nurses, midwives, medical interns, and other medical practitioners, including doctors and pharmacists, to mention few. 4, Parliament through its relevant committee ensures that the Health Service Commission fast tracks the redesignation of nurses according to the schemes of work. Scheme of service for nurses and midwives 2018 to regularize nursing and midwives terms of service. 5, government through the Uganda Health Service Commission desist from advertising jobs that consider a bachelor's degree as any added advantage, none than as required. Many times you read on the papers when they're advertising jobs, there's a nurse with a Bachelor of Nursing degree or master's, it is any added. We are saying no, advertise according to my qualification. And your humble petition as in duty bound will ever pray. And here too, your humble petitioners have appended their signatures. the signatures, you may not see it, but Honorable, Right Honorable Speaker, the signatures are here. The most senior nurses have appended their signatures here. Many of these are people who are holding doctorate in nursing and so forth. I beg to submit.
Thank you, Honorable Matia. The petition is referred to the Committee on Public Service and Local Government in line with Rule 30, Sub-Rule 5 of our Rules of Procedure. Colleagues, on the bill for Kampala City, Capital City Amendment Bill 2021, this is a 3-clause bill. And when you read through the certificate of financial implication, the money is already even provided for. So this is a bill where they require to get emoluments for Speaker and Deputy Speaker. I therefore want the committee to process it in 1 week. Within 1 week, to have finished it, and you bring a report because it's a 3-clause bill and it's very direct. So, Committee on Presidential Affairs, you have 1 week to give us a report on this bill so that we can pass it before we pass the budget. Next item.
Item number 5, laying of papers.
Commissioner?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Commissioner, you can read all of them, laying, then I will refer at once. That's
okay.
part A.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, allow me lay reports of the Auditor General on the financial statements for the financial year ended 30th June 2021 for the following districts. I'm reading all. Ngora District Local Government, Amuria District Local Government.
Honorable Commissioner, can I request each one you read, you lay on table?
I thought.
Then I'll refer. So you can keep reading one.
Ngora District Local Government. I beg to lay. But there are many.
Yeah. Oh, very good.
Yeah. Amuria District Local Government. I beg to lay. Olio Sub-County. I beg to lay. Amolata District Local Government. I beg to lay. Kumi District Local Government. I beg to lay. Kalachi District Local Government. I beg to lay. Soroti District Local Government. I beg to lay. Kapelabiong District Local Government. I beg to lay. Soroti City. I beg to lay. Bukedia Kumi Municipality. I beg to lay. Serere District Local Government. I beg to lay. Otuke District Local Government. I beg to lay. Kaberamaido District Local Government. I beg to lay. Katakwi District Local Government. I beg to lay. Dokolo District Local Government. I beg to lay. Soroti Regional Referral Hospital. I beg to lay.
Thank you, Honorable Commissioner. the items apart from the statements, apart from that of Soroti Regional Referral Hospital, are referred to the Committee on Local Government Accounts. And then the one for Soroti Regional Referral Hospital, the one for Soroti Regional, take your seat, Commissioner.
Right Honorable Speaker, I had not mentioned the report in itself. I beg to leave.
Sorry? Which one is that, Honorable Commissioner?
Right Honorable Speaker, there were other reports not on that list. There is a report of the Auditor General on the fund accountability statement of Young Africa Works Uganda. Lead farm.
No, Honorable, that one is coming, that's under B. The first ones were under A. Okay?
So we hold them on?
The ones, you take your seat, I guide you.
Okay, thank you.
The ones under A, apart from the one of Soroti Regional Referral Hospital, are referred to Local Government Accounts Committee. Okay? Then the one of Soroti Regional Referral Hospital is referred to Park Central. Honorable Commissioner, you can again lay the ones under B. I'm following our order paper. So if you could have a copy, it would be better for you. Good.
Speaker, allow me lay the following reports. A report on the Auditor General on the road on the fund accountability statement of the COVID-19 economic recovery and resilience Foundation Uganda for the period 22nd May 2022 to 30th April 2021. I beg to lay. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to lay the report of the Auditor General on the fund accountability statement of Young Africa Works Uganda lead farm structure project for the period 5th November 2019 to 31st December 2020. I beg to lay.
Thank you, Honorable Commissioner, for the good job. And the statements are referred to Park Central for processing. Colleagues, in the public gallery, we have members from the National Malaria Control Division under Ministry of Health and other stakeholders in the fight against malaria. These include Dr. Rick John from Pilgrim Africa and the Ministry of Health. Dr. Silva Kasozi, SBC Officer, National Malaria Control Division, Ministry of Health. Robert Mugera, National Malaria Control Division, Ministry of Health. Mario Natkunda, Senior Communications Officer, Ministry of Health. Kenneth Wycliffe Mugisha, Board Chairman, Malaria Free Uganda. Aubrey Agaba, Country Coordinator, Malaria Free Uganda. Babas Peter, National Malaria Control Program. Then we also have, I think we had some from Target Malaria, Quality Chemicals, and Center for Policy Analysis, CEPA. You remember in my communication, I told you about our celebration for National Malaria Day and the statement we've requested in 2 weeks so that we can have a comprehensive discussion in this house on measures being taken and what we can do as legislators against malaria, because it's finishing our people everywhere. Next item.
Procedure.
Colleague, you don't access the microphone before I give you permission. Honorable Isaac, procedure.
Apologies for the slight error. Otimgi Isaac, Pajere County. Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether you're aware, but I stand on a small matter. It is clearly stated that members of parliament shall be provided for in order to exercise their duties. But 1 year on, we do not have even computers in our offices. And we have to produce evidence-based debates here. We cannot print anything or search anything. I know we have iPads, but we are not always in movement with it. We have our commissioners here who are supposed to lobby for us on this matter. Maybe they can give us an update on what is happening that 1 year on, new members don't have any computers, any printers in our offices. Thank you, please. Even stationary. Thank you.
Now, honorable member, that's a matter where you want me to rule against myself. A monkey to decide the case of the forest. So it's an administrative matter, but the honorable commissioner.
Right, Honorable Speaker. I pray you protect me from those people behind. I wanted to give this information that honorable members, we got that challenge last time. Members were complaining about computers, printers, in many cases. However, we were implementing a budget that we found had passed. So we couldn't do much in this ending financial year. It is in this other coming budget that we hope to put some of those things in place. I hope that honorable members bear with us for the meantime.
Thank you. But honorable colleagues also, our doors are open, okay? Our doors are open. The people you elected to be your speakers, these are matters which we should handle internally. They are not matters for national television, for the House. So I'm going to link up with my senior, the speaker, and we ensure we address this matter as members of the commission. Yeah, I would feel comfortable if we close this matter. Thank you. Next item.
Item number 6, motion. Fines and other financial amounts in criminal matters, modification of written laws instrument 2021.
Honorable Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs.
Right Honorable Speaker and members of this August House, before I move this motion, allow me, Right Honorable Speaker, to convey my congratulations to you upon ascending to that high post of Deputy Speaker. Congratulations, Right Honorable. Right Honorable Speaker, I wish to move under Rules 8 and 56 of the Rules of Procedure of Parliament, seeking leave of the House to present a motion to withdraw the law revision fines and other financial amounts in criminal matters, modification of the written laws instrument 2021. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to move.
Is the motion seconded? Seconded by Honorable Bahati, seconded by Honorable Saranyi. Papa Byong, Noah Mutebi. Motion is seconded. Rwampara. Honorable Minister, would you like to speak to your motion?
Yes, Right Honorable Speaker. Whereas on the 5th of October 2021, the Attorney General laid in part financial amounts in criminal matters, modification of the written laws instrument 2021 for approval, and the statutory instrument was referred to the Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs for scrutiny. Aware that Section 7(2) of the Law Revision Fines and Other Financial Amounts in Criminal Matters Act 2008 empowers the Minister to, with approval of Parliament, modify and a written law to give effect to the principles stated in the Act, to remove any doubt in the application of the provisions of the Act, and for the purpose of removing any injustice or inconsistency arising out of the application of the principles stated in the Act. Noting that Parliament has amended or repealed various laws contained in the statutory instrument, including the Firearms Act, Cap 229, the Uganda Railways Corporation Act, Cap 331, the Ferries Act, Cap 355, the Inland Water Transport Control Act, Cap 356, the Vessels Registration Act, Cap 362, and the National Social Security Act, Cap 222, thereby making the statutory instrument redundant in certain aspects. Cognizant of the need to withdraw the law revision fines and other financial amounts in criminal matters, modification of written laws, Instrument 2021, in order to harmonize the statutory instrument with the legislation the statutory instrument proposes to modify. Now, therefore, Right Honorable Speaker, this motion is moved that this Parliament approves the withdrawal of the law revision fines and other financial amounts in criminal matters, modification of written laws, Instrument 2021. I beg to move, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Colleague, this is a matter which is not for debate. They were bringing amendments for most laws which were already repealed. So I don't know, Minister, I think next time the level of preparation for the work brought here needs to be smarter. Because when I looked through, I was checking through last evening, and for example, sections 5, subsection 2, section 16, subsection 3, section 18, subsection 4, section 30 of the Firearms Act, they are no longer good law because they were amended and the fines converted into currency points and increased. Now, then section 79 of the Uganda Railways Corporation Act that you were proposing was repealed by section 156B of the Inland Water Transport Act 2020. So when I read through and I was like, how did this come here? So you need to be smarter next time. This is your law. This is your proposal. You again withdrawing it. Colleagues, I think we shouldn't be having a big debate over it. Now I want to put a question that leave be granted by this House to the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs to withdraw the law revision fines and other financial amounts in criminal matters, that is modification of written laws instrument 2021. Those in favor say aye, those against say nay. The ayes have it. Honorable Minister, you can go ahead and you withdraw. Next item.
Item number 7, motion for adoption of the report of the Committee on Information, Communications, Technology and National Guidance on the performance of the national backbone infrastructure, electronic government infrastructure.
Chairman, Committee on ICT and National Guidance.
Right Honorable Speaker, I also take the opportunity to congratulate you for having achieved that office. And I'll also go to the item agenda that whereas the committee presented the report on the performance of the national backbone infrastructure and electronic government infrastructure for consideration of this House. At the same time, the committee was also considering a petition by Honorable Bashir Kaziwe, the Member of Parliament for Kawempe South, and the findings and recommendations of this particular report are almost similar. Tomorrow will be the last day that we shall visit one of the key players in the industry, and that's MTN Uganda. And by next week, we shall be in a position to are almost similar, and there are more findings that we have made since this report was signed that would be beneficial for consideration of this House. Therefore, the prayer of the committee is that we are given next week an opportunity to present the two reports.
Honorable Chair, you think it would be better if you consolidate the two reports so that we have one report, or you want each report separate so that we debate them at once, but when each report is separate?
The request of the committee was to present both reports separately, but on the same day, because one report speaks to the other in a way. But there were two different assignments, and we thought, unless guided, that the best way was to present the two reports on the two assignments differently.
So, permission granted. Clerk, ensure that you put the two items following each other on Wednesday next week. Chair should be ready. Chair, ensure we receive this report early so that as presiding officers, we are able to comprehend and we upload it for members. Ensure they follow each other so that the debate is combined, and then we handle the matters expeditiously. Thank you, Chair.
Stop large, right honor.
Yes. Next item.
Item number 8, motion for resolution of Parliament urging government to develop a documented comprehensive taxation policy.
Yeah, Honorable Semanga Javira. The member is not in the house. So, colleagues, there being no any other item on the order paper, House adjourned to tomorrow, Thursday at 2 p.m.